What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be my 5 tips and advice for people who want to start riding horses. Now, before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name is McKenna, and I have been an equestrian and riding horses for over 8 years, and I'm a barrel racer, so yeah. Also, if you guys got any questions about barrel racing or horses or anything, I'd love to answer them in the comments below. But yeah, so the first tip and advice I would tell you is when you want to learn more about horses is take lessons. You gotta take lessons. I think it's so important for people who want to get into horses that they take lessons for a while, ride a bunch of different types of horses, and you learn how each horse rides differently. All horses have different personalities because every horse is different, you know? Some horses, like I said, some horses are gated, some horses are not. So some horses may ride differently. And I just think it's really important that you ride a bunch of different horses to learn how each horse rides. Yeah, and then the second thing is after you've been riding horses for a while, and let's say you have tried both English and Western, try to find the discipline that you want to be in. Now, you could do both. I personally have rode Western my whole life, but I would be happy to try English riding. But I've been riding Western my whole life, and that's what I feel most comfortable in. But yeah, so then once you figure out the disciplines and figure out what kind of discipline you want to do. Like, there's so many different disciplines out there. There's barrel racing, there's show jumping, there's eventing, there's vaulting, trick riding, hunter and jumper. There's just so many different types of riding. So I would definitely say do some research, learn about the different types of riding and how they ride and how they work. And then once you find it, you can do that discipline that you wanted to do. Now, the third thing is when you figure out what discipline that you want to do and you feel like you're ready, after you've been riding horses for a while, you can lease a horse. Now, horses are expensive. So my advice is for later on in the future, when you do want to get your own horse, I would say definitely lease a horse first, before you buy one. But that's just my opinion. Everybody can say things differently. But I would say to lease a horse, because once you lease a horse, you'll learn more about their care and what you need to do to help them. So once you lease a horse for a while and you learn how to take care of a horse and you've been riding for a while and you're starting to feel more comfortable, then you can buy your own horse later on in the future. The fourth tip I would say is spend a lot of time with with your horse outside from riding. Yeah, riding's important, but I also think you should spend time with your horse, learn more about the horse you're riding or the horse you're gonna lease, or the horse you buy in the future. I would say spend a lot of time with your horse, outside from riding them. And what I mean by that is just by you spending time with your horse, not just from riding them, but from also grooming them and spending time with them, you will bond more with your horse. So, and my fifth tip is always ride safely. It is so, so important. This being an equestrian, being the sport, it's amazing. It's so, so much fun. But you always gotta ride safely. You always gotta make sure that you and your horse are safe at all times and that you're riding safely at all times. You gotta wear your helmet, wear your boots, wear gloves when it's freezing cold out. Always make sure that you are wearing protective gear because it's so important, It's so important, and I care about you guys, and I want you guys to be safe. So I would say always wear your helmet, boots, protective gear. Always wear just always ride safely. You know, it's always so important to wear protective gear and make sure you and your horse are safe at all times, because you never know. Your horse could spook, or you can get badly injured. So always make sure that you are riding safely with you, yourself, and your horse. Always ride safely. That's like my number one tip, is to always ride safely. Always wear protective gear, because it's so important. Like how I said, you know, the horses can spook, or something can happen, you know, that you don't know. So I just think that's very, very important. But if you guys also have any other questions about wanting to take lessons with horses, or just really anything about horses with disciplines, or what kind of sport you want to do, I will be happy to help you guys with that. So leave the comments down below, and I will love to check them out. Also, one more thing before we go is I am going to be making a YouTube video. I will be doing a 20 questions equestrian Q&A, so I'll answer some questions about horses. If you guys definitely want me to do more, I'll definitely do more. I'll make another video about it. But yeah, I hope you guys like these tips.